Welcome to the VIS-100 M1 500 round review. I've got some footage on the screen of me shooting it the last time I went out to the range. It's got 3 clips of third person, and then I got one first person clip here at the end. At the end of the last clip, I'll cut to the table shot and I'll do some talking about the holster and compare it to some other handguns you might be familiar with. The short of it is, it's a good gun, but it does have some drawbacks, and it's not going to be for everyone. So, with that said, I'll let you watch the rest of this, and I'll be back with the tabletop. Okay, welcome to the tabletop. First, I'll show you guys clear. Now, I've put about 500 rounds through this, roughly 400 brass and roughly 100 aluminum case. All of it has ran just fine. One thing I want to get out of the way first, because I brought it up in my first video, and some people were a bit confused, and I was confused, and that is the slide lock. Now, in that first video, I couldn't push back on the slide to release it, but now it works just fine. So I think it was just the springs on the inside needed a little bit of wear. Like it started working like after 25 rounds. So yeah, it doesn't take much to get them worn in. That's just something that's a little strange. That needs to be said. The magazines have been really good. No issues with them whatsoever. Of course, these are 10 rounders. They're not pinned. I think there's just a base plate, an extended base plate in these for Canada, and I guess some US states as well. But no problems at all with these. The red dot, the Vortex Venom, has been fantastic. It's the, was it 3 MOA dot. It's perfect size for shooting at 25 yards. Absolutely no problems with it losing 0 or anything. It's been very accurate. The holster. Now, I'm sure you could get a custom Kydex holster done for this, and I'm sure it would be great. But if you don't have the ability to, like if the shop isn't near you, like with me, you're going to have to get a universal holster until more of these come out. And so I went with the Blackhawk Omnivore, the regular one that has this little plastic insert piece. You can also get the one that uses a light. I believe it's an O light that they use, but it works really well. It's trying. When it's not on your hip, it's a bit fumbly to get in because it's not. All right, there you go. Sorry, when it's not on your hip, it's a bit fumbly because it just goes straight in, like it guides in perfectly. But when it's not, I have to kind of like fish around for it. Anyway, it's perfectly fine. It works really well. The trigger guard is fully covered, even with the hammer back. This is the extended latch or extended push button. I'm gonna say it's okay, it's a bit high, and that coincides with another thing, which I'll get to. It's a bit high, and when it's too low, at least for my hands, I couldn't really properly get it. So the high one is necessary, but it means that when you're pulling out, your the web of your finger is not in a very ergonomic spot, so you have to readjust your grip a bit, which is fine. You know, you're readjusting your grip so that you can go on target. I think it's fine. It's just something uh, to note with this. Now, the reason that's happening, as you can see, is because it has quite a high bore axis. I think the best way to show this is with a comparison. Now, this is an HK USP. Yes, it's clear as well. Now, I don't know how well this is going to show up on camera here, but you can see where the web of your finger is much lower on the VIS-100 than it is on the USP. On the USP, you can ride. This is a big gun, and you can still ride up somewhat high. It's it's nothing like a Glock, which I'll get to in a second, but you can get a really good grip. On this, you really are quite low from that bore axis. And speaking of the Glock, I don't have a slide on it right now. It's not in the same province. But in comparison, see if I can line this up. Look at that difference in where you grip. That is huge. I know this is a striker fired, but that is absolutely gigantic the way that the VIS-100 is designed. So that is something that will not appeal to a lot of people. And if I'm being perfectly honest, I would probably look to sell this if I was allowed to in Canada anymore and get something else. Not because I think it's a bad gun, but just because I don't think it fits my hands as well. It is certainly a really cool collector's piece, and maybe I should phrase it the other way. I wouldn't want to sell this if I could have it and other guns, but if I could only have, I mean, I have obviously other guns, but if I could only have one kind of tactical, or tactical as in with a red dot cut, hammer fired pistol, it wouldn't be this. Um, I have the USP for irons, and I have this for red dot. And really, the only negative thing I can say about it is the bore axis. It really is quite high. Now, the grip is really comfortable to shoot, but I don't think this is a reasonable. If you're the kind of person that has all four fingers below, I don't think it's reasonable to hold it like this. This thing is going to have serious muzzle flip, which is why you saw in my videos, I'm having one finger up here to kind of hold it down, because without it, I really don't think I could shoot this as accurately. And I definitely notice I shoot looser groups with this than I do with this. And I think that's because, at least when I'm, trying to go, not take, 10 seconds between shots. And I think that's because it is more difficult to get back on target with this. But having said all that, I still think it's a really cool, and it's a good gun. It just maybe shouldn't be a primary gun for whatever purpose you want to use it for, whether that be competition or home defense or I don't know, anything else besides collecting. I think this is really a collector's piece at the end of the day. With that said, it's still a good gun. I do want to show. I haven't cleaned this. through 500 rounds. I haven't cleaned it, so I want to show what the damage is like inside. Really stiff. So let's see. Definitely a bit of dirt there. A little bit in the magwell, but not too bad at all. Spring looks pretty damn good. It's a bit of wear on the rear side here, but overall pretty good. Yeah, there's definitely some carbon buildup, but overall not bad. Just use a CLP wipe. She should be good to go. Same with the barrel. Definitely some carbon buildup, but otherwise it's perfectly fine. So I think this, I have no idea what kind of rugged reliability you would see on this thing, but I can say so far I haven't had any issues. I've had no jams, no malfunctions or anything like that. Nothing from the magazines, nothing from anything like that. But yeah, that's basically all I've got to say. Actually, one more thing. I will cut and be right back. Okay, I'm back. I want to talk about the gloves I was wearing. I know some people will be like, "Oh, why do you want gloves to shoot? You just shoot, man." Look, it gets cold in Canada, and when it gets hot, my hands get sweaty, and then I can't grip like this very well. And when it's cold, it's cold. I want gloves. And I found the best gloves to use are golf gloves. They are incredibly thin. They're easy to take on and off. And they allow for really, their golf gloves are made to grip. They grip really, really well to your hand and to the pistol. You can have just one on your support hand if you want. You can have two, one on your firing hand and one on your support hand. Worked great for rifles too. Only downside, if you get white golf gloves, they're going to get real dirty real quick. So I couldn't find any black gloves that fit me well. But yeah, these Nike ones are pretty good. And as a side bonus, they also are really good for loading magazines. I have those fake. Hold on, let me show you. I've got these fake, like they're not this is not Kevlar. It's just fake military style gloves, and they're fine if it's really cold, but they're not that grippy. They are here, so it's fine for holding your firearms, but for loading mags, they're quite slippery, especially on the single feed mags, because as you're pushing down, your thumb just slips off. But with golf gloves, they won't, which is a real benefit. So yeah, if you're having trouble holding any of your firearms, whether it be handguns or rifles or shotguns or anything, maybe try out a golf glove or two, see if it works for you. It's worked for me. I'm definitely gonna keep using these. They'll probably become black over time. Yeah, that's it. I will hopefully it doesn't take too much longer, but hopefully I'll have the slide from this from Black Box Customs soon, so I can do an overview video on that. I'm in the process of changing my MRA Renegade to a red dot system instead of an LPVO, and I'll do a video on that whenever I get to take it out. And I'll continue doing updates on any of these guns when I can. So, until the next video is uploaded, thank you for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.